Oh,
And Morgan's like,
yeah.
I know Jen knows about this stuff. And he's just like turning red in the
What?
corner of Michelle's head.
Let's see. Are we live? Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some kind of weird. I haven't used. I haven't used. You can release your video order here. What the hell does that mean? Okay. No. So yeah. Oh, I was gonna say yeah. We went on that show. Oh my God, was she like in rare form? Actually, that's her normal
It was
form.
awesome.
That's her normal. I know. I told her. I said Jinjin's gonna get a kick out of this.
I loved it.
That was so funny. He was like, told Michelle, we're getting, no, he's told Morgan, we're getting red over in the face over here. And Michelle's like, I'm not.
Because she's used to us.
Yeah.
She deals with us all the time. And I'm usually the one making Eric red. So, and he gets embarrassed.
Believe it or not, Morgan makes me red. We'll start a show here. I'm going to have to pull up, since we're not on Restream, I'm going to have to pull up the,
I want to share it to my wall, so it's on Todd Medina's
page,
right?
It's on all the platforms. Yeah, I'd share it from mine. Okay. Yeah, share it from my page. Yeah, there's a few people coming in now. We got about 21, 31.
I have a very interesting little story to tell you. What happened a few days ago?
Oh, I want to hear about it.
Let's see. And I thought other people would find it interesting. And we're not even sure what happened, to be honest with you.
Oh, was it both? Did it happen with both y'all or what?
Yeah, it wasn't like sacred sex stuff or anything like that. We were just in the car. We were in the car doing our normal.
You're in the car.
We're in the car. And there, I just shared it.
Okay, cool.
So we were driving onto the highway in Idlewild. And there's like a small street that we come off of, and then there's the highway. Mm-hmm. Well, the highway it's pretty slow right where we go on, because it's like going into town. So it slows down the highway. It tells you to slow down.
Yeah.
He's pulling out like this, and we both look both ways and see no cars. And he pulls out super slow because there's snow and ice. So you got to drive kind of slow on that.
Right.
And he pulls out super slow, and all of a sudden this car just goes, and all I did was go, because I thought he hit us. Like 100% thought he hit it. I mean, I could see the front of the car hit his car.
You could see.
Yet the dude never swayed. He never even saw us, first of all. And nothing happened. And all I can think of is there was divine intervention there. That's the only thing I can think of, because that dude should have hit us. There's no way that he could have it's almost like he went through the car.
You know, a couple of things. One, I've had two friends, and I believe they both talked about it on the shows, how I heard it. I know one for sure. And they both had car accidents. And I can't even remember. I can't even remember I know who one was, but not the one I can't remember. But anyway, that one was a woman, and she told me that she got T-boned, and the experience for her was kind of like what you're talking about. And it's like she was impervious, like it went through her, but nothing happened to her. And then the other friend told me the same thing. And they pretty much explained it the same way. The other thing I was thinking about was, talking to Adam on the last show, Marquis, and he was talking about when, and I'm not so much saying that what he's saying is what happened, but let me finish with it. But he was saying that when a person gets to a certain level, that, and I think this has to do with like light body integration, that they're impervious to punctures and accidents, and they're like protected. And when he was telling me that,
happened.
Yeah. So when he was telling me that, I was thinking, I started having these flashbacks because my dad used to say, you're like a cat, you had 9 lives, and I had some pretty bad accidents, and I was thinking about some of them, and I'm like, man, how did that happen? But what I was going to say is, I wonder if this is one of the things I was talking to him on the last show about, not this specifically, but this type of occurrence. I wonder if these things are going to start happening to people, like things that are not possible, you know, from
Well,
our old.
this wasn't possible.
That's what I mean.
I mean, we both looked at each other like, what just happened? It wasn't just me that felt that way, because it was on my side of the car. And we both looked at each other. How did that even happen? And I go, there's two ways that happened: divine intervention, or the density of our car changed.
Yeah.
One or the other.
See, I think that, and I think Adam was talking in that regard with couples in particular, but also individuals. But yeah, I like that second explanation, you know.
That's what I mean. That's the only explanation. I mean, it was a car. Unless it was also, it could be an initiation to see our reaction too. Because, you know, we're getting lots of tests these days.
I know.
Like every single time I talk to somebody, it's like, am I going to respond consciously or unconsciously? That is the only thing I say at this moment. And am I going to respond consciously or unconsciously? Am I going to answer with my emotional body, or am I going to respond with my heart?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I say now.
You're better than me. You're putting yourself to the test. I just avoid all people at all times. And I'm kidding. But
well, I kind of do too, because I stay up in the mountains by myself for like 5 days at a time.
Well, I got triggered this morning.
Yeah, so we all still get triggered.
I know, you know, it's crazy. And I don't look at them the way I used to. I think we are all getting better with it. But I got physically downloaded as we were starting this show, and I can't explain it. But this always happens when there's a connection, you know, I guess higher self to higher self. That's you know, deeper, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, this morning I got up, I laid on the couch, and I was just trying to, like, you know, get back on planet. And I flip on, somebody made a comment, or I don't know. I just went to whatever. And I saw this person who disowned me a couple of years ago when we can talk about it. We had Rick Jewers on, and there was a big controversy, you know, and I didn't know about it. And
I know who he is. I know who he is. Right? I actually saw him on your show a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago. Well, he was on the show.
Or was it an old one?
It was an old one. Yeah, he was on the show.
Oh, maybe it was the replay or something.
Yeah, he was on the show a couple of years ago, right?
Oh,
and so, and it anyway, somehow or another, I saw his name. So then I went to his page, and I just saw one post, and I saw another post, and it was my lower vibrational Todd. And I'm like, and I actually wanted to write something on there, which I haven't done that in ages, like probably 3 or 4 years. But then I looked at it and I said, okay, well, you know, why is it that you have a problem with this dude? And I just had to dissect it. And I got through it in 10 minutes, but I was a little bit surprised that something that benign could have triggered me like that. By the way, I just want to tell everybody we're using Zoom for this broadcast, this one. And the only comments I can see are going to be on my Facebook page. Just letting everybody know.
I don't see any comments, so I'm not ignoring anyone or anything. So I just don't see anything.
I got 2 devices.
But I'll go back and look at them on Todd's page.
Yeah. So I wonder if have you been having any other anomalies or aberrations occur?
Well, a lot of physical symptoms. Problem. I thought I got through this whole ascension process with no physical symptoms until last year, and they all came flooding in. So I'm just dealing with them better now, like headaches, really bad headaches. And there's nothing wrong with me. Go to, if there's something, I feel something's wrong, I go to the doctor. I'm not not about not going to the doctor. I won't do what they say half the time. I won't take any drugs or anything, but I've had like a lot of headaches and a lot of dreams with, actually, you and Morgan have been in a few of my dreams.
Is that right?
Yes, you and Morgan have been in my dreams. Amanda Lawrence has been in my dreams.
Yeah.
We opened up portals together a few times in my dreams. Lori Ladd is like constantly teaching me in my dreams.
Wow.
So it's like, it feels like I'm being taught in this dream state. Like I'm getting like these scenarios and how do you deal with this type thing. Like, how's your reaction going to be? And another weird thing is I know I'm in a dream now. I know which world I'm in now. It's not like it's just like random. And I wake up and I'm like, oh, I just had a dream. It's like, oh, I just kind of created that dream.
Yeah. I wonder about this. Now I know, like, so the lucid dreaming has been more and more and more over the last few months. And then some dreams I've had, and even going back, like, like when I met Morgan, there were different timelines. It took me a while to figure it out, but they were actually, what Franco calls simulations. We're always running these simulations. And I guess that's one way you could say it, but I know for certain that there's 3 or 4 timelines that were put to rest because I got more confirmation later. But then the other thing I wonder is, like what you're talking about, this activity we have with other people in lucid dream state. I wonder if that's some kind of simulation or something, because I've often felt what you just said, which is like, I don't know if I'm being instructed or I'm in a simulation to decide what my choice will be. I don't know, but it feels very
I
similar.
get a little bit of both, because I was getting a lot of dreams about a healing modality like 6 months ago. I think I talked about this on your show. I was being taught a healing modality, and that stopped. And basically, I think it's because they taught me everything and downloaded me everything I need to know, but it's just not all integrated yet. So I'm practicing on myself though, like I get headaches and stuff.
Oh, self-healing? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm practicing on myself. I haven't tried it on anybody else. I know animals love it when I do it to them. So that's a good example, I guess. But it's really about energy and using geometry. So like if there's a part of the body that has density in it, and we all know that density creates pain or disease.
Yeah.
There's a part of the body that has density in it. I can feel it. And I just let the energy run through me. I'm not doing this. This is just like, it's running through me, Right, but if I close my eyes, I can actually see the density in the body. And that density it looks like distorted sacred geometry.
Really?
And so in my mind, I'm putting the sacred geometry back into place to its organic form. And it works on me. I haven't tried it on anybody else because Eric never has an issue. So it's not like I can work on him. He's like Mr. has no ascension symptoms, doesn't get sick. I call him Mr. Evolved.
Mr. Evolved.
But yeah, I haven't really tried it on anybody yet. I really, if somebody came next to me and they says, oh my God, my ankle's been hurting all day. I say, can I try doing some energy work? It just hasn't happened yet. It just hasn't, come around, but I would try it on somebody. Well,
it's coming in for a reason. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. That's interesting that you say that about distorted sacred geometry. I know when I look at, I don't look at other people. I've never tried, but when I look at myself, I see the dense areas. They're like a kind of like a dark gray matter. Not even like in a negative way.
I just feel it.
Yeah, it just stands out.
Especially once that high frequency light starts coming in. You know how we get these like days where there's more of that light coming in. Oh boy, do I feel where the density is. Right now it's my third eye, which is kind of shocking because the density is like all in here.
Wow.
So, and I've had it pop before. It popped like 5 years ago. But I have density like in this whole area. It just feels like, unless it's my crown, maybe it's my crown trying to open up. I don't know. And I know that a lot of people from past lives have fears of opening up their crown because of entities coming in, but it just can't happen anymore. That shit don't happen no more.
But there's some truth to that. I mean, everyone talks about it in a different way, but I mean, from an energetic standpoint, regardless of all the bullshit, that's out there, but from an energetic standpoint, it actually, anything that seems to be threatening to me just doesn't have anything to stand on. I don't know. It's weird. It's like it literally doesn't have anything. Franco talks about that the inverted matrix was no longer projecting, and they would only be here on a residual basis from our own quantum, our own quantum creative effort, conscious and unconscious creative efforts.
Well, yeah, you can create it. You can create anything. We're powerful, creative beings, but I don't think like the fourth dimensional beings that were on this planet before that were kind of infiltrating people are even here anymore. And if they are here, they're not messing with humans.
Yeah. Or
and
maybe
you have to get permission. So if you go into like, I don't mess with the astral planes just because there's so much duality there still.
Yeah.
I just don't like the astral planes. So I just don't mess with it. But if I have in the past, and I've come up to things that are a heavier energy, and you have to give them permission. So what I do is I just say, you know what? I see you, I honor you, but we don't resonate.
Yeah.
And then they just go away.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Isn't that funny? And that's how it works here now. That's what people are starting to figure out now. It's okay if someone doesn't answer a message. It's okay if somebody says no. Yeah. It's like not okay if you have a problem with it. But it seems to be more accepted.
I say no a lot.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, because you.
But I say no, thank you, and smile.
Oh, I bet you get approached all the time energetically. I mean, because you put it out there consistently, and not only that, but you're not like one dimensional in your expressions. They're multi-dimensional. Be it from the human, hey, I feel like crap today, and I'm laying on the couch. Period. Or it'll be. Like
people need to know that, everybody's going through this process now. I'm not any more special than somebody that doesn't know any of this. We're all going through this process. The only thing is it's going to be a lot more confusing for somebody that doesn't understand they're going through this process.
Yeah.
We've all been woken up now. There's nobody on this planet that has not been woken up.
I agree with that.
So, I mean, we're supposed to be the kind ones, fearless compassion. Eric talked about that on his last show, last show with you.
Yeah.
The fearless compassion, you got to get in there and say, this person has no idea what I'm talking about. and if they do, their higher self does, and it's triggering them for a reason. But, just to have compassion for them and understanding instead of taking things personally. I just see so many people taking things personally all day long on the internet.
Oh, I know.
And it just blows me away. But, I could say that, but I was like that 5 years ago. I was triggered by everything 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So put myself in their shoes and don't act that way towards them.
Yeah. And it gets easier the more you do it.
It does.
Just becomes
now I just giggle at stuff. Like when the thing came out about having to wear 2 masks.
I know. What is that? What the hell is that?
I started laughing. Oh my God. I started laughing. I showed it to Eric and we got to wear 2 now. And it's just like, we just started busting up. I mean, what else can you do? It's just it's so blatantly obvious what's going on now.
I know. That's what I mean. Like it's almost like a false flag frequency.
It is. It is. Well, I know first of all, I do want to acknowledge there is a virus called COVID-19 because I know people that have had it. Yeah,
I've known people.
And I know a couple people that died from it, but they're super old,
Me too.
And,
they weren't.
But I don't resonate with it.
Yeah.
It can't. I don't align with that, and I'm not going to get it. There's no possible way I can get it because I don't align with it.
Right.
So. But you can't say that to everybody because they're really scared right now. And that's not being compassionate saying, well, if you don't align with it, then you won't get it. They're going to be like, screw you.
Yeah, it's really trippy. I have a friend that I grew up with, like from 6th grade, and very, very, very kindred, And I talked to him for the first time in 12 years the other day. We lost contact. Anyway, he's very, very high in the government. He's had some very high level jobs. He's been in intelligence. I mean, and I was a little bit surprised, and he lives in DC, and I was a little bit surprised because at the end of the phone call, he said to me very seriously, he said, be careful. There's this virus out there and there's all these variants. And the reason I was kind of shocked is because I figured that, that he's privy to a lot of information. I would never ask him about it, but it just goes to show you that regardless of who it is, like you were saying a minute ago, just in the same sense, everybody's awake now. right? It's just
Yeah.
kind of a dependent. Our experience is dependent on really what thoughts we're carrying forward. I like what you said about you
Well,
don't.
it's
Yeah,
also how you've been raised. I
yeah,
mean, if you were raised a certain way, you're going to have different beliefs.
yeah,
All your programming and conditioning that you have growing up. I
yeah,
mean, these are all things that people are shedding now, and it's tough. I mean, I'm still shedding conditioning,
yeah.
and I've been doing this for a long time now. Well, I
Right?
feel like it's a long time. It feels like never ending to me.
Yeah, it probably isn't going to end. Yeah,
Whatever. I'm
you
doing
know.
my job, man. I'm here. I came in this human form. I'm
All
here
right.
on this planet. I'm doing my job. That's all I care.
Yeah, I'm doing Todd. That's about all
Yep,
I can handle. Yeah,
exactly.
a couple of people have written me notes, and I'm like, look, man, all I can do is myself at this point. I can get back with you later in this, in terms of your questions about whatever, but I just can't. And
Well, I mean, you're doing these shows like all day long, but I do like that you're doing them later now
yeah,
because that gives you a chance to wake up. Because I don't know if you're like me, like I'm in
yeah,
another dimension for the first hour after I wake up.
yeah, we are too. I'm the I don't know how it happened. She just has this knowing, this innate knowing that she started scheduling everything for me. Usually 1 o'clock is the first one, and that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect for me because it does make a big difference. But I was going to ask you, like I think the main thing that I've been thinking about lately, and I really haven't like implemented it. I'm in the very beginning stages, but
Mm-hmm.
I've run across a couple of people that have been on the show
Mm-hmm.
who I'm just going to put it in human terms or whatever. It's okay. So they go into their imagination, is how I would put it, and they consciously construct things. And it's not like visualization, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
consciously creating things in the energetic field with a very purposeful intent, not only in this world, but one of them is even when they leave the world, when they leave
Mm-hmm.
but I guess where I'm going with that is like tapping into to utilizing the imagination for
Mm-hmm.
constructive efforts like we've used other attributes that we have, like with our
Mm-hmm.
hands or, a career, whatever the case is. I don't know. Have you played with that at all? Is that
I do a lot of like just imagining, period. I've done that since I was little, and that's
yeah,
probably why I manifest so quickly.
yeah.
But I am very fast manifester. Like I wanted a place up in the mountains,
I
and
saw that. I saw that. Well, and
that
I also,
happened.
yeah,
That
I mean,
happened. It's not mine. It's not mine, but I get to use it whenever I want.
yeah,
And that happened within 2 weeks. Like
crazy.
no big deal.
It's crazy. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like the whole, like I remember when we left Hawaii and we were told you got to go to the mainland, and we were kind of like going, okay, this is what we want. Or maybe the universe was asking us, what do you want? And so we ended up getting it. It just wasn't one place, right? So we find ourselves in this cabin in Northern California for 6 or 8 weeks, or
Mm-hmm.
this farm in Oregon or in Washington. But everything that we were asking for was provided, but we didn't own it because I don't think that
Yeah.
really
That
applies,
doesn't
right?
matter.
Right? It's like you're in a dream and you're in a castle, and like, who owns the fucking castle? No, you're just
Nope.
in the castle, right?
No, I mean, if you're in the now moment, you
Yeah,
you really just have to follow your soul's guidance,
yeah.
and it's going to lead you to exactly where you need to go. And there's
So,
some people like my friend Vera who takes it to an extreme that I can't do yet. They're like living with nothing, Vera.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
she takes that to the next level. I'm not there yet, but yeah, I
Mm-mm.
do love living in the moment, and I love things popping up and fun things happening in the moment. I mean, I think that's the way we're supposed to live, but we're also
Absolutely,
in this reality too. You still
absolutely.
have to merge the 3D reality with the 5D
Yeah,
mindset
yeah,
because, or I mean, I wouldn't have money
yeah.
or, or a place to live, but those are my own blocks.
But
Maybe it's
you've
something I need to work through, but I like having a house over my head or a roof over my head and money
yes,
in my pocket. I don't need a
yes.
lot, but I need
Same
enough to
here.
eat and
Yes. I think that's part of it though, is the choice. It's our choice, like how far do you want to take this? I
Yeah.
mean, I know we've, it's mostly her. It's not, my stuff just, I don't know. It's different. She's just like, okay, this is what I got. And one
Mm.
of those things that's occurred, over the last few months has been, what do you want? Like, it's okay to ask for what you want. So I'm with you. See, I mean, I was on the streets 2 years, so I have no desire to be, out, camping
Mhm.
for more than, recreation. I
Mhm.
just, there's certain things, and it's crazy because we've, like in our case, we've been gifted stuff, gifted a car, gifted a bus. I mean, these
Mhm.
are forms of abundance, right? I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't just come in the traditional ways. Like,
Yeah.
for instance, I don't think I'll ever own a house again because I
Oh,
don't
I wouldn't
even,
want a mortgage. You know
yeah,
what the word mortgage means?
what?
Death pledge.
Isn't that something? See, everybody's talking about, well, everybody's talking about the COVID and the quarantines and the mask and the Q and Trump and Biden and the military tribunals and all these things going on.
I don't
See,
even know about any of that stuff.
I know. And see, for me, I'm looking at it. I got up today and I started to write something, which I'm not even going to read because it's not balanced yet. But what I'm trying to say is I'm more interested in the stuff beyond that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
more interested in like, how the hell did Jen, because I know your story, like,
Mm-hmm.
diagnosed with lupus and the
Mm-hmm.
other things that went with it, the weight
Mm-hmm.
loss, but remember when you've talked to me and you've told me the mechanics, that's why I wanted to ask you about the imagination. You did manifest. You just went boom, 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 you know, and
Yeah,
I'm more interested in that kind of stuff. Like, like,
yeah. It's interesting. I've talked to a few people like Michelle a couple times. I think she's here. Or is that Eric?
is she really?
Eric. She's
Eric.
gonna be here in a little bit because they're doing their show today and we're gonna go have tacos.
Oh,
But
cool.
I
Taco
feel like
Tuesday
Taco Tuesday.
with
I
Jen
love
Jen.
Taco Tuesday.
Me too, man.
But I have noticed when I talk to a lot of people that are going through this process consciously, they feel like they've lived several lifetimes in one lifetime. Like it's all been condensed into one
Yeah.
life. So like we could say that we're probably living on other timelines too. I believe that. I think I have
Yeah.
other aspects of myself because I've had one or two of them merge with me. So I know
Yeah.
I have other aspects of myself. But I feel like just this timeline only. Well, we ship timelines anyways,
Hmm.
just going through the day. You make a choice, you go to another timeline.
Yeah.
But I'm saying on this trajectory that I am on right now, I feel like I've lived at least 20 lives.
Yeah. In this incarnation.
Different lives, very distinctly different lives.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a very good friend who one day I'll get her on here. I've known her since as long as I've known Morgan. And we connected like we have a connection like you and I do. I mean, it's just, you don't have to see him all the time. It just locks in, right? You
Mm-hmm.
speak the same language. And I remember her telling me, uh, or this is like 2014. And I'm just like, I don't even know what ascension is. I'm just like getting in there. And she said, Todd, we're living a summary life. Like all the experiences we have are being jammed into one.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, wow, that's weird. And then over the next 3 or 4 years, I would be like, oh, wait a minute. It started to make sense to me. Going back to like memories of like going back to like 5 years old, 15, 19, just
Mm-hmm.
things would pop in my head. And, then people talk about walk-ins and stuff. I think, well, I wonder if that's what that is, I don't know.
Well, I forgot about this. And now that you brought up walk-ins,
Yeah.
Lori Led, I don't watch all of her videos, but I was up in the mountains with Eric and I says, let's watch this one video about walk-ins because I didn't understand exactly what they were. I don't go around reading a bunch of ascension books
Yeah.
or spiritual books. I was very, very guided when I first had my kind of pop moment where I saw everything. I don't know how to explain it. When the Kundalini goes through and you just kind
Yeah.
of see everything and you're like, holy cow, the whole universe just opened up. When I had that moment, I got a very distinct person say in my ear, probably my higher self, do not start reading books.
Yeah.
Not start reading a bunch of books, because you're just going to have more programs and beliefs you're going to have to let go of. So I didn't do that. And what were we talking about? Walk-in. So I says, I really want to watch this video. I'm just drawn to it. And he says, okay. So we're watching it, and she starts talking about walk-ins, and I start crying during this video. And I go, oh my God, I think I'm a walk-in. Because I went from such a radical change. I was so sick, and I lost so much weight within a year, and all this stuff opening up to me so quickly. I mean, I still remember being a kid, but you know what? I don't really I love my parents. I love my family, but I'm not attached to them at all.
Yeah.
I don't have the same, I don't have the same connection with my parents that my sister does or my brothers do.
Yeah.
And it kind of happened after all of that. So I don't know if I'm a walk-in. I don't even think it matters, but it was weird that I had such an emotional reaction while watching that video. And she goes, and right when I'm crying, she's like, you're going to know if you're walking after watching this video. I still don't know. I still don't know, because I stay open to every possibility, but there was such a dramatic shift in me.
Yeah.
So fast that, I mean, even my parents look at me and they just stare at me and they don't even know what to say to me, because I'm a different person.
Yeah. I'm about to be subjected to that soon.
You're going to go see your family?
I'm not saying that I am or I'm not. I'm still.
You're going to find out how spiritual you are, Todd.
Exactly, like Ramdas says. Yeah. Well, I resonate with what you're saying, because that's how it was for me.
Yeah, it was very fast, very radical.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot from the past. It seems to be fading more and more.
No, I do remember. I can go wherever I want. I guess you could do that too. I mean, I can, but there are things that pop. There's certain markers along the way that.
Well, little markers of big significant things.
Well, just events. I remember the first memory I have was I was about a year. That's probably I was walking, so I was 15 months or something like that, and we were moving out of this apartment, and I remembered it very distinctly. But it was that, how when you go into Delta or meditation or out of body, there's that voice, that one you were talking about. There's that other voice that I don't know how to explain it. It's not even a voice. It's
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But there's been several times that's happened, even before I, got into this and became familiar with, other people experiencing it. But yeah, I was going to ask you something. I forgot. But the short-term memory's gone to hell. I can tell you that.
No, that's horrible. The short-term memory. I don't remember anything. It's pretty bad. Names are horrible for me.
I'm horrible with names. I can see the energy of a person.
Yes.
And I remember the energy, but not the name.
And face. I remember their face. Yeah. I remember their energy signature, but I'm horrible with names. Up in the mountains, we're learning the names of all the people up there, and I know 3. Eric knows 15 names.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, that takes a very conscious effort. Yeah, it's funny, but I think it's not happening just to us, because we multi-stream. So I approached some different groups and said, can I go live in your group? I've been in the group a while, whatever, and but you have to make me an admin, because otherwise they won't let me have access to do it. So there's a beautiful group out there. I won't name it because I don't want to embarrass her, but it's a beautiful group. Everyone knows it's been out there a long time. So she wrote me. I woke up this morning. She wrote me a note and said, "Can I ask you a question? Did one of the admins invite you to be an admin?" And I said, "No. I wrote you a note and asked you." And she sat with it. She goes, "Oh my God, are you serious?" I said, "Yeah, I asked you, could I be an admin just to multi-stream?" And she's like, I forget what she said, but I was laughing. I was in tears because she got it.
No, I get it. My short-term memory is no bueno at all.
Yeah. Have you seen, I know I know who you are. I mean, it's so crazy. I told Morgan, it's like, I don't know, I can't say you're the same person, but there's so many things that I know about you because of my connection to Morgan.
Mm.
But have you ever seen another aspect of yourself? Because I
Oh
know
yeah.
you've merged with aspects of yourself. Yeah.
One was an energy, and that happened, I would say 6 years ago. It was like an energy ball.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I thought it was an aspect of myself, but I think I've told this story on your show before. I took a nap, and this was when I was living in Arizona, and I had a roommate at the time. I took a nap and I fell asleep. And when I fell asleep, I thought I was asleep for like 9 hours or 7 hours, something long. And I went inside of a mountain, and there were blue beans there.
Here we go. Yeah.
There are blue beans there, and they had computers, and the computers were not like we have, they're holographic.
Yes.
So there's no screen. And I was not talking to them, but I wasn't talking to them. It was just totally telepathic.
Yeah.
So like I was talking to one of them, but not talking, and asking, what are you doing? And they go, well, we're adjusting the frequency to the earth because it's going up too high. And it might kill some humans. They're like, we have to constantly adjust the frequency to the earth. And I go, okay. And they go talk to that lady over there. And I go, okay. So it was like a blue bean, but had red hair.
Uh-huh.
Looked like almost like the movie Avatar, but they were more slender.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to explain. But I looked in this person's eyes, and I knew it was me.
Wow.
I knew it was me. I didn't even have to say anything because it was just me. We were talking back and forth to each other.
Wow, that's trippy.
And I'm like, and they're like, this is now,
mm-hmm.
all happening now, but this is you at a higher frequency.
Yeah. That's trippy.
So,
It's
yeah,
trippy.
that happened. And then I woke up. This is the weird part. I woke up and I go, oh my God, Jelena, because she's totally like into this stuff. I go, oh my God, Jelena. I said, I've been asleep forever, huh? I go, did I miss dinner? And she's like, you've been asleep for like 5 minutes.
It's like a DMT trip, man. You generated your own DMT.
No drugs, no nothing.
No,
just
I know.
Laying on my bed.
Yeah.
I met that person for sure.
Yeah. What's interesting to me is like right before I met Morgan, I had a little glimpse of a blue bean. That was me.
That was right before I met Eric too.
Okay. And then I meet Morgan, and we started immediately going into dimension just by talking, and there was this episode of, and I used to see it as blue, like a blue spacesuit, not, like a skin suit.
Yeah.
But I never looked close enough to like it was closed. And I realize now that it wasn't, because I've seen it more. But what I'm trying to say is, so we had this, we were the same species, right? And it was inside of a cave, by the way. Yeah, it was inside of a cave.
Like, that's weird. Why would they be in a cave? Why would they be in a spaceship? Well, and then they said this is a spaceship.
Okay, this is what then I met I have another friend that lives in Texas. Now this is before I got out, started traveling, and her and I had 2 or 3 experiences, and we were on a small little ship, like a cruiser, seeding the earth. We were both in the same blue, and Morgan was in the mountain at the controls with the holographic computer system you're talking about. Anyway, long story short, I've had these blue beans coming in since mid-December again, right? And I've talked to like 2 or 3 people, and they said the same thing, like, oh, you were in my dream and you were a blue bean and I was a blue bean. Like there's something going on with the blue thing. I don't know what it is. Yeah. It's always been there for me. And I don't know if that
was a while ago for me, and I haven't seen that again. The one thing are you very visual at this stuff at all? I get more voices. I
don't get the voice. Morgan's got everything, actually, all the clairs. except for probably I do get visuals both
I'm
with my
starting to get them
yeah,
now. That's the thing. Like
yeah,
I'm just starting, and that's
yeah,
probably why my head's hurting so much.
yeah.
It's probably connected to that. But I'm seeing light beings a lot more, like light beings,
Yes.
and I
Yeah.
can't even watch Lori Ladd anymore. I see them popping up behind her the whole time,
Yeah.
like circles and light beings.
Yeah.
But, and I'm like, if I could see them behind her, why can't I see them? It's because I believe they hang out with her. They're with me too. They're with everyone.
Of course they are.
So I'm like laying, this just happened this morning, laying in bed, early this morning. It was still dark, and I started seeing light beams on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Just going back and forth. And I told Eric, and he's like, oh yeah.
Eric's like this. Eric's like the stoic.
I'm like, no, we're seeing them. I swear, they're moving around the ceiling.
Eric's the stoic galactic. I'm gonna call him the stoic galactic.
He's an extraterrestrial. That's why nothing.
Oh, there's no doubt he is. He's no doubt. Yeah. See,
and I'm starting to see a lot on the side of my eyes too. More.
Yeah.
So I don't, I just go with the flow. I don't try for anything anymore. I think that it's just such an organic process. And if you start reaching for things, that's when suffering happens.
I agree.
So I don't care if I have 3 days of no downloads or 2 weeks of no downloads, and I'm having fun hanging out with friends. It's no big deal.
So what's it like being up in the cabin in the mountains for a few days by yourself?
Well,
how's that? I mean, how is
bees were buzzing inside the house one night, like tons of bees. And I think there's insectoid beings there.
Here we go again. That's another thing that happens. That's happened a lot with me is the insectoid
They look like
beings.
grasshoppers.
And it's crazy because I was just going through this last night.
Praying mantises.
Mantis.
They look, and they always bow.
We're in gratitude. Did you see the show after David Icke with Sandra Walter?
No, but I love Sandra Walter.
It's a very good show. Well, they're always good with her. But I mean, so at one point I said to her, hey, can I ask you about something? I'm starting to, I've been seeing these blue light beams. They're very tall. And the other night they were talking to me and they were getting like more visible, right? My eyes are open. I'm closed open and they're still there. And I was just telling her what the message was, which is basically that we're going to become more visible now if you want to. So then like her jaw drops and she goes, oh my God, I've had the same thing happening. I've always felt them and everything, but now they were coming in. And so now you're saying that what you're saying, these are us, I guess. They're us.
Yeah.
Right?
They're just us at a higher frequency.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the reason why they don't come in all the time is it would just be traumatic for us. So like even just that moment, because I was by myself, first of all, I'm like, can we like save this for when Eric's here? Like I don't want to be by myself when these big mantis-y beings
he's probably conspiring with them to come to you when he's not there.
But I'm by myself, and I've seen, and it's very shadowy. I don't see like a solid form yet. I haven't seen like a solid form yet, but it's very shadowy, but I could see the outline. Sometimes it's clear. It goes in and out, and it really just depends on my frequency too. How much I'll see. Like if I've been eating a shitload of meat that day, I'm probably going to hear more stuff and not see stuff.
Okay.
I'm noticing the meat like thing. Oh boy, I love my fried chicken, but the meat thing's not good right now for me. I'm having issues. Like every time I eat meat, my tooth just starts flaring up, and there's nothing wrong with that tooth.
Right.
Like it hurts so bad. So I just kind of laid off the meat a little bit. I let myself eat it once a week right now, just because I love my fried chicken.
I love fried chicken. I'm a
like
Southern
my favorite
boy.
thing.
But
I think all that stuff's organic too. Like if you stop eating meat, it's not something you force. You don't become a vegan to become more spiritual.
Yeah, exactly.
When you become more spiritual, you can't eat meat anymore. It just happens.
it's like
organically.
the label thing, like, oh,
Yes.
I'm this and I'm that and I'm this.
And I don't like the word vegan. I don't like the word vegetarian. I like the word intuitive
I
eating.
know. I got that from you.
Yes,
That's one of
that's
the
the
best
word I
posts I've
like
ever
because
seen on the subject.
I go
Uh,
back and forth all the time. I will go like plant-based for a month and
mhm.
then I will eat nothing but steak for a week. It's the weirdest thing. And I think it's just part of the process of kind of letting that go.
Yeah.
And it's just a process. It's not an
Yeah.
event. Nothing about this is an event. It's all a
No.
process.
And it's organic. Well,
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, like what you were saying about the body, mine's been talking to me all last year. It was talking to me, but it's talking to me now in a different way. It's actually, so in other words, it comes in, this happened to me last night and this morning. And it said to me, uh, you can see what's happening here, pal. This is not going to be something you're going to continue to be able to do. And it's not like, that. It was just more like saying your body's just not going to accept it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And
okay,
that's what
that's cool.
happens.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
Yeah.
happens. I mean, my whole jaw hurt and there's nothing wrong. It's just a consciousness that is screaming in my mouth, literally.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking about fried chicken. I'm getting hungry.
Morgan made red curry Thai with shrimp. Man.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love curry.
I'm gonna be carving that stuff down tonight. So
It's Taco Tuesday here. We're going out for tacos.
Taco
But
Tuesday.
yeah, I think I'll get bean tacos. I'm not gonna have my one night of meat to be tacos. I want my fried chicken.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, so I mean, like, are you? I mean, like when you're up in the mountain, are you just chilling out? Are you?
Very quiet.
I would think that it's a very powerful, powerful place.
Well, the fact that it kind of just landed on Eric's lap,
It did.
it's kind of proof that he's supposed to be there. So
I would say so.
Yeah, but you could talk to him about that stuff when you have him on again. But you slept in this apartment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sure
I'm sure you felt the ley line going through here.
No, yeah. It was 3 nights of there was definitely and we were tired. We traveled a little bit, so we were a little bit tired.
This place will light you up.
Yeah,
man.
it was very cool.
It will light you up.
It was very cool. It's to me it was a very magnetic area. Very, very, like when we walked out to the ocean, it was very magnetic. It was, for me, I remember that.
The land's doing something really weird here though. Lately, I've been feeling because it's become this land's sacred right here in Laguna Beach.
Yeah.
The water's crystal clear and it's not like that anywhere else, Southern California.
Yeah.
And it's been pushing back the land a little bit. I've noticed that a lot of people's businesses are closing because they want to turn it into this ritzy high-end resort. Even the guy that bought all the buildings, he was like a billionaire, bought tons of buildings like the old Laguna Beach Hotel and a bunch of other restaurant buildings. And he was basically going to take over Laguna Beach. He just filed for bankruptcy. He's broke. Wow. So the land pushed back on him.
He must have had a bunch of GameStop. A bunch of head. Whatever.
I heard about that just yesterday. I didn't even know what was going on because everybody was talking about. I'm so out of the loop, Todd. Like people are like, you don't know anything about like the president or what's going on in the world. And I go, listen, I see it on Facebook. It does nothing for me.
Even if you read everything,
it does nothing.
Yeah, but even if you read everything, you still don't know what the hell's going on. I don't think anybody, these people, they're saying, oh, this is what's happening or that's what's happening. We don't even know what's happening. And this is what I was getting at earlier. I'm not interested in these superficial things. That's the distraction. I'm interested in what's beyond
building the new.
Yeah, I'm interested in if the universe is by force or flow putting me in a space where I'm having to work on myself because that's the highest efficiency I can get from my energy, there's got to be a reason behind it. That's what I look at it, you know. So
all that stuff is just a distraction. And, you know,
I think so.
You know, I read somewhere a while back, this is before all of this happened, that there's this thing called Project Looking Glass. I don't know if you've ever heard about that.
Yeah.
Where like the government can look into timelines and see a probability, and they can kind of condition the collective into going into that timeline with stories or whatever they want to do, fear, whatever. They can't use that anymore because there's a timeline that's too high frequency for them to look into. That's why they're scared. They have no control anymore.
That's very cool. That fits energetically. Yeah.
So they're flipping out. I mean, they have all the money in the world. So what's the next thing you want when you have all the money in the world? Power.
Yeah.
And they're losing their power. So now it's like we're in a chess game, and the elites, we'll just call them the elites because that's the label that people call it.
Mm-hmm.
They're in checkmate.
Yeah.
No matter what, they've lost this game. They can kind of fudge around and move their king around a few times and, you know, manipulate it a little bit, but they're in checkmate. They're done.
They're effed.
All those systems are breaking down.
Yeah.
All of it's breaking down.
That's a fact. And that's what I'm saying too, because whatever's happening is bigger than all of us, any of us. So when you said everybody's awake on the planet, I don't care who it is, I think about these people sometimes. I think about, hell, I saw these videos yesterday. I'd never seen it before. I don't know if they've been out, but they dropped these bombs, a couple of bombs or whatever. That's what they said they were. And there was all these Hunter Biden pictures and videos. I'm talking like porn here. We're talking like straight up, you know, crack induced in hotel rooms. I mean, it was nuts. And when I looked at him, I thought, you know what I actually thought? I thought, that poor dude. Like, I don't care about it. It's not about, this is about a human being, you know, and I realized what I'm trying to say is those people, I wonder what they're going through. Like any of those people.
Well, I think they're terrified, first of all.
Yeah.
I think they're terrified, and they still have a choice point. We always have choice points.
Yeah.
So, you know, we could talk about people being awake, but even the people that we think are super awake still have to make choices every day, and that aligns them to their highest timeline.
That's right.
And so it's always about choice. So even the most evil people in this world, this is why we got to come into this neutral state. Yeah. We have to be forgiving, even if they did some really crappy things, because we have to forgive. Yeah. We got to just let it go, because they have a choice to move up or stay where they are. And I'm going to tell you, a lot more people are going to start moving up when the rest of this year starts happening.
I think so.
Let me tell you, this year's going to be really interesting.
It's already happening.
I know it is. It is, but I mean, it's going to get, I just know. I even told, I told Eric probably 3 or 4 years ago, I says, I see a big timeline split. And I say, I see it soon. And I go, I don't know if it's going to be some kind of disease that kills off half the world.
Wow.
Or if it's going to be a nuclear bomb, or if it's going to be something else. But something big is going to happen. And there's going to be a split timeline. And it's going to be so obvious that there is a split in timelines. And that's what we're seeing. I mean, I don't live the same reality as some people at all. I mean, they would not even begin to understand the life I live. I can understand the life they're living because I used to live that way at one point, but they cannot understand how I'm living. And that's why we need to come in with compassion, and understanding, because they're going to be the ones that are looking up to us for answers at one point. Yeah. So, and they're not going to do it if you're just being an ass all the time, just because they're, they have a different opinion.
See, that's what I look at. It's like, let's say whatever narrative plays out or proves out, for lack of a better word, because that's not the right word. What are the victors going to do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I told you so.
I don't like that either. I don't like
No,
the I
it
told you
doesn't.
so.
It doesn't fit. It does. We can't take. No one says "I told you so" in, let's say, 5D or in heaven or
No.
nirvana. You don't go "I told you so." It just doesn't
Uh-uh.
happen. So it's. I like what Eric said about the fierce compassion, because
I've been using that one a lot too, saying it,
yeah,
especially when people cut me off. Fearless compassion. Fearless compassion. Flipping them off. No, just kidding. I'm like all angry. Fearless compassion.
I just got a picture of like somebody cutting you off and you're fearless compassion, and they're just looking at you like, what?
Hey, I'm just keeping it real. I'm still working on myself here.
It's true, though. It's true. You know what? One of the things that maybe it's because I've tried to catch it myself, but one of the things that I've noted that I'm really sensitive to, I guess, it sends my antenna up, is when people they have a charge. A grudge is a good example. Like I'm going, and I don't say anything. I just go, wow, why is this so loud? And I think it's loud because, and what I've been doing is I go back, like the guy this morning, I forgot about him, and I said, oh, there's the trigger for the day, but I'm trying to I still go to people's pages that rub me the wrong way,
I have it so they show up first, the ones that still trigger me.
Yeah.
I star them. You could do that. And they're the first thing you see right when you wake up in the morning.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a great idea.
I actually only have one other person, I won't say who it is, that I have up there, but like the other ones, I'm so chill now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I just know they're running programs just like I'm running programs. That's why I get upset. It's the same.
That's right. That's right. And it's so funny too, because there's all these little, what I would call, let's say 2-3 years ago, little epiphanies. And they're not like these fantastical multidimensional things. They're these human things that I never noticed. Like Morgan pointed something out to me a couple of days ago. And it wasn't about me. It was just about, it just had to do with like being in a house and, certain something that goes on. And I was like, oh my God, I do that. And it was just it was so expanding to me to define something. You know how like you drive to work the same way every day and you miss the trees, right? I mean, you just, it's like that. It's like it's right in front of your face. And I don't know why I got a big giggle out of it. I was like, why am I so excited about this? You would think that an Arcturian just appeared in my bedroom, but yeah.
You brought up a good point about driving, and missing things and just kind of repeating the same day over and over again. One of the things I used to do little groups because way back in the day, twin flame groups.
You did? Did you?
Yeah,
really?
well, yeah, because I had a twin flame experience. I call it an experience. I don't call it anything. Yeah. But the thing that I would do is I'd get a bunch of people on Skype. And because I did a lot of work on healing my emotional body, I was trying to help people with their emotional bodies because I thought that would help them through their journey. Because if you can heal the emotional body, you got a bunch of people with unhealed emotional bodies out there. I mean, if there's one thing that humans can do to better this world is to be responsible for your energy.
That's it.
That is it.
That's it.
If we had a bunch of grown adults, mature spiritual adults being responsible for their energy, the planet would shift like that.
Absolutely. Which is really what's happening. But I mean, yeah, you're right. That's what
I had him do an exercise. I go, if you eat the same thing every day, start eating lunch for breakfast. Start when you drive down the street, to go to work, take another way. I mean, we get stuck in these ruts and these routines, and the magic comes when you're spontaneous and you do something new.
Yeah, that's true.
That's where the magic comes from.
So
I was trying to get them to do that. Yeah. And one girl, she posts on her wall the next day, she's like, I had pizza for breakfast. And I'm like, oh, that's a big one. I've done that my whole life. But she did something different,
Yeah. No, that's a good point, though. That's a really good point. Yeah. You feel the
Yeah, because
reason
all
to,
the magic does not happen in the mundane, repeating
yeah,
the same day over and over again. It happens when you make a choice to
yeah,
go the way that your soul is pulling you to go.
yeah.
And it's never going to be the same thing over and over again.
Yes. And then the thing is too, like, there's, I think there's less now, but there's a significant amount of focus and fixation on other people and
Mm-hmm.
their qualities that aren't, serving the best.
Yeah.
And I just look at this and I'm like, man, I do not have time to even do that because it's become it's so ingrained in me to like the thing that happened this morning. I didn't go like, oh, that guy's an asshole. I went, why am I feeling this way? Because I really don't know why. And I knew that there was something that, there was, and that's a further refinement. And that's in that example, a greater responsibility I'm taking for myself. And you're
I
right.
love that you're doing that. Not many people do that.
Well,
Like when
I
I get
learned
triggered,
from,
I go freaking inside and I find where that trigger is coming from. That's
yes.
the work. That's
Yeah,
the work
that's
right
right.
there.
Yeah. Well, and
So thank
yeah.
you. I don't see many men doing that.
Well, I'm
Thank
with
you.
Morgan, so you know how that goes. I mean, well, but the thing is, it's actually true. Well, and I was even told that when I went on the street, I was told, I guess my higher self or whatever, they came in and said, look, you've depleted yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically. You're fucking on the edge of like, you know, you're almost done. The best thing you can do is put yourself in the best possible spiritual health, which will then take care of the rest of it. That's the best thing you can offer to your family, because that was what's big on my mind at the time. Was my
Mm-hmm.
kids, now
Yeah.
I'm homeless, and then I met Morgan, and she's like, you do these things and you heal generations, fourth generations back. And then
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it just in my own life. Well, like you're a good example. So you took control of your energy, you took responsibility, you heal yourself, and then you just,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, people wouldn't understand your lifestyle, but that's the
Mm-hmm.
process through which you've arrived. And I have too. We have too. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, well, you want to live in a house on wheels. It just happened.
Yeah.
You actually created all this, and you
Mm-hmm.
can't really do that if you're impeded by, like what you said, the emotional body's
Yeah.
hurt, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Boy, we got a lot of work to do on this planet.
That's
But
real.
you know what?
See,
I could
and
say that. I don't even want to say that because I believe people can shift like that. I believe the healing
absolutely.
process is not the same way as it was for me and you right now.
Mm,
I believe people
mm,
are just shifting, they're going straight to their heart.
yeah,
And that's the first part of the process. Your heart has to be open for this
yeah,
process. And
yeah,
then they connect.
yeah. That's right.
And then that's when the magic starts. But
Heart, mind, and spirit. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Um,
I don't even want to put that out in the field that we got a lot of work to do, because you know what, we can be in utopia tomorrow.
I
We
agree
don't
with
know
you. We have to be careful what we say.
what we say, think, and do, big time.
We
And let
have
me
to.
tell
Yeah,
you, a
it's.
few times I've been unconscious in my
Mm,
expressions, and it's come right back in my face.
yeah,
So it's this is game time. This is
yeah,
this is not like, okay, you say something and it manifests 2 weeks from now.
yeah,
It's you say something and
yeah,
within 5 minutes it's in your face.
yeah,
If you're being unconscious or conscious, either way,
yeah.
it goes both ways.
That's right.
So
Like lack, hearing the frequency of lack, or
mhm.
I mean,
That
that's
one
a.
I got rid of a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah. That I mean,
I
yeah.
got
I
my
mean.
van. I don't need anything. I got a van.
um, the other thing too is like okay, and I don't want to beat a dead horse, but if there's nothing that I'm going to say that I've cleared 100%.
Oh
There's
no, there's
not.
layers.
That's what I mean. So when I hear people say I cleared that, I'm done with that. I'm going, no, you're not. But I'm really saying it to myself, more than anything. But I've noticed that too, because whenever I would plateau like that, think I'm done with that, I get my
That's
ass
true.
kicked. You get your ass
Because you
kicked.
know what? If I say, "Oh, I'm fine. I got my van," well, the van might break down. The van
Mm-hmm.
might
That's right.
the whole engine might explode. I think just being in gratitude and in the moment and being able to respond consciously to those things that happen that are uncomfortable is the best that we can do.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they're little initiations to see how we're doing.
They're opportunities.
The opportunities, initiation. I don't like the word tests because I don't think I don't think we're being tested. I think we're I like that better. Being presented with an opportunity to respond consciously.
Yeah, I like the words incubation and initiation and indoctrination. Those are the 3 I's for me when I was trying to get my shit together a few years ago to start getting it. Yeah, because everything has a charge, right? When you're in that state. Like I remember on the street, I heard many times, circumstance and consequence are the same thing. Period. Yep. So get over yourself and get over it. And I'll be like, all right. So you're telling me that this is all my creation. Now I didn't understand it to the level I do today, but I did well enough to understand that I had to stop externalizing everything.
Well, that's hard for the human to hold. I believe that I created everything in my life, even the crappy parts. I believe that 100%. I don't care if somebody was a total jerk to me. Yeah. I made choices to be around that jerk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it is all me. Yeah. And I stand by that, but you don't want to be saying that to somebody that just got raped or somebody, something like that. No. That's not the nicest thing to say. Well, you created that, you gotta.
Although it's interesting though. I got a phone call from, I got to be careful about this. How do I say this? From a young person, late teens, in an early relationship. I got a phone call 2 or 3 nights ago. And I did have that conversation. But I guess it presented itself. We were obviously very close, and we did have that conversation. And I was a little bit surprised by the lack of victimization that they chose not to perpetuate, it was interesting.
That's maturity.
Yeah,
that's
but maturity. I think
not everybody has that.
Yeah,
and it's okay.
Yeah,
because let me tell you, I'm immature in all ways. I still do cartwheels on the beat and.
Kid,
tell Erica I want a hot fudge sundae now.
I'm the same way. I get off these shows and I'm just a little kid, man.
Yeah.
No, I think it's important.
I think we're supposed to be like kids and be having fun. It's not supposed to be all serious. I mean, it's serious business what's going on. We're shifting into higher states of consciousness. This is like a big freaking deal what's going on. But we're supposed to have fun. We're supposed to have fun in this realm as well.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, there's higher dimensional beings that wanted to be here and could not drop in. Yeah. We were chosen to be here.
Yeah,
we raised our hand and they picked very few. They couldn't all come on this planet.
I agree with same intel I've gotten. We earned it too. You didn't come down here nobody gets a shortcut. God, this is fascinating. It's been a fascinating day. I don't know what the hell's going on. I've been getting supercharged all day. And then talking to you, all I can see is I can't even look at you because all I can see is it's like a kaleidoscope of your ass.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. So, oh my God, tell Eric hi and tell Michelle I said hi.
They're next door doing a meeting for their radio station.
Oh yeah, cool.
So they're at a friend's house doing that.
They're okay.
It was at the same time as
right on.
So.
Well, I hope
I'll tell them that you said hi, and I really appreciate you having me on the show. And I want to say one thing.
Yes.
To those people that are watching, if anything I say does not resonate with you, just toss it. I am not here to create any more belief systems in anyone. You are on your own unique divine journey that is perfect and beautiful for you. That's all I have to say. And I love you all.
Spoken like a true goddess. I love you. And I hope we get to see you in 2021 in person. I think we will.
That would be great. I want to go to Arkansas because my dad's from Arkansas. Eric's dad's from Arkansas. I want to go.
Come on down. We'll go squirrel hunting.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding. I don't hunt. I'm
Oh my
just joking.
God. I love the squirrels. I'm friends with the squirrels.
So am I. So is Morgan. But we have a friend here, and he told when we first met him, he's a country boy. I mean, he's from the country.
Oh, they eat squirrel there.
He told Morgan, that he ate squirrels, and she about had a fit, man.
I would be eating squirrels if it came to the
They
point
eat
where I
more
was
than that
starving.
here. We had to go get we had some wild cats out back, so we had to go get a couple of traps.
Oh
And
boy.
when we went to get the traps, the guy tells me, it was a little mom and pop story. He says, you got you some possums or coons? And I said, no, they're cats. And then he starts telling me how his grandmother used to make possum and raccoon. And I'm thinking, holy crap.
You're in the South, boy.
Yeah, we're here. You take care.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.
All right. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.